Let me take you back to the place where we grew. It was more than just a track. In the schoolyard vibes where legends were made. Boys turned to men in the games that we played. Under the sun, life's lessons came raw. Every challenge faced made us stronger for sure. Running through the dirt with our dreams in the race. Competing for respect, every heart was in place. Those playground rules, they became our creed. From basketball courts to the fields of speed. We hustled and flowed with every passing day. Learning how to stand up when life's in the way. In the fields of speed, we hustled and flowed with every passing day. Learning how to stand up when life's in the way. In the schoolyard, that's where it began. Brotherhood forged, hand in.
Welcome to another episode of The Yard with yours truly, Chris Pender Sr.
Vincent, Everyday Saturday Scott.
Tommy Maurice Franklin.
And Michael Franklin.
He gets a little more excited with that every time.
I love when he say that.
Every thing he was not singing. He went from Maurice to Maurice.
Hey, brother. Hey, look,
in the 60s. You got to tell you.
It's a pleasure hearing it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yo, man, yeah. Good to see you guys, man. Mike, you know what's funny, Mike? Because you're not here, it's like something is missing.
Yeah.
Well, last week I had every intention to be here. I was at an Airbnb and my grandson went to the bathroom and the door locked on him. And we couldn't get him out. It took us over an hour and a half to get him out of there. We had to call a specialist to come take the lock off.
Yeah, you were go busy. Well, just let you know, it's not the same, man. It's like we miss it. It's like, man, Mike, the edge thing is missing, man. You know, so,
the name call.
Yeah. It's like I told you out. And most of y'all can relate to this. It's like every time a kid leaves the house, or when your kid leaves, it changes the personality of the house.
That's true.
It does. You don't pay attention to it until they're gone, and it's like, man, it's just different.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah, but tonight's episode is gonna be interesting, man. We're gonna talk about the identity crisis in America, man, and that means especially with our youth, but also with some of our men, man, and some of our people in general. You got black folk who don't want to be black. Like I was watching this thing with Ryan Clark and some other dude, and he was saying how all black people are not black, all black people are not the same. Naturally, he was in the Charlie Kirk camp, so I never could figure out what he meant by that at all. And it's funny how it used to be we stuck together.
Yeah.
So I guess my first question was, what happened? Because remember, it was a time when we walked down the street and you spoke to people regardless.
Right. And now you speak to people, they look at you like you speak a foreign language, or you cursed at them.
Well, and that depends on the region that you in. Because in Kentucky, when I was in college, everybody spoke to everybody.
You still got that southern
hospitality was there. Mm-hmm. You know.
But I think years ago it was here. I think now though is like it's gone. And I hear people from different places say the same thing. That it's not like, here you be walking downtown. Hey, what's up? You just did it. It was never. Yeah, you nodded. You did something. Now it's like, man.
I still speak about everybody.
Yeah, often I'll be somewhere and if I'm walking and make a perchance eye contact with somebody, how you doing?
Yeah, you get that.
Yeah, I get a nod at least.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, why do you think that is?
Why you only get a nod?
No, why has it changed that people just don't seem to connect like that anymore?
I think I don't know if it's a trust issue or what,
See, I kind of think, especially as black men, we've allowed ourselves to be redefined by society. We used to have this unwritten brotherhood, where you at least acknowledge each other's presence. Now it's almost like we even, through ourselves, we have some of the same bias and stereotypes that white America has against us. He looks like a gangster. You know what I mean? He looks like a thug. I'm educated. He can't be educated. It's almost like we get some of the same biases that we heard growing up. It's like now we do it to each other.
I think that a lot of us take whatever the most negative narrative thrown our way and we enhances it, we magnify it. And I think that has a lot to do with it now because, like I always say, like people use the N word like it's nothing, nothing, nothing. That's supposed to be the most derogatory word out there, and we think it's fun now. I don't. Most of us don't, but a lot of people do. They think, oh, there's nothing wrong with that. Now, yes, there's a lot wrong with it. And we, you know, I hate TV show like The Price is Right. Everybody coming down there, they got the show off, and we get out there. Oh my God, we gonna take it to another level. And I'm like, they ignorant, and we gonna take that ignorance and take it another step further.
Yeah, we gonna double down on it.
Yes,
That's how they get chosen, though, Mike. That's how they get. I agree with you, but that's how they get chosen. You know,
they sitting down when they call their name.
They was
They
in,
get up.
they was in the audience in the line, and they
They audition for months in advance.
Yeah,
I get that. Yeah. Then they get their tickets to go on there. But once you get on there, act like you've been somewhere before, like you done something.
That ain't gonna happen.
I see.
They say, look, they can win new stoves, gonna make them dance.
Yep.
No music, but we dancing.
No, but I think part of it is, again, it goes back to how we've officially assimilated into a culture that we attach labels. You know, people assign themselves to a political party, and it becomes who they are, whether it's right or wrong.
Yeah.
You know, I could be a staunch Republican, and even though they're doing stuff against people who look like me, I'm going to hold on to being a Republican. You know, I see that happening more and more, and it's no longer just about right or wrong. It's like
it's like they hold on to, one party, and like I said before, no matter how big the idiot is that's running, they still go with it.
Right.
They don't take the time to use their common sense and say, man, what's gonna be best for us as a country? There's like, oh, we gotta win as a Democrat, or we gotta win as a Republican. I mean, it's going haywire. I mean, politics in itself is just.
But I think when you don't know who you are, it's easy to be manipulated.
Yeah, and they got a lot of fools that's been manipulated.
And it's funny because
they've been hoodwinked.
Oh, Mike made it 17 minutes, so we got to get you credit.
17 whole minutes.
I couldn't resist that one. I couldn't.
Why Rick don't try to jump on anymore? He was trying to get in there.
Because I'm on here, and I can't wait to tell him how ignorant he is.
Oh, look. He found a way he should be able to defend himself.
See, when you don't know who
I'm
you
just
are,
saying.
I think when you don't, and I take it back. Like one thing I say about us in the schoolyard that we knew at an early age we were discovering who we were, and we were individuals. Now, I was talking to a group of kids this morning. They dress alike. They all look at the same things. There's nothing about the majority of them that stands out and says I'm different, and they don't want to be different.
Yeah.
Like it's cool to be stupid.
Right.
And I don't understand. And then you get some smart kids who want to act stupid. Who don't want the other kids to know. And it's almost like this identity crisis just dropping generation to generation to generation.
Right.
Like we just don't know who we are, and I just don't. And for the environment we grew up in, that was one thing our parents made sure we knew who we were.
Everybody had their own identity. As much as we grew together, as much as we was brothers, we had our own identity.
What do you think changed that, though?
Well, you hit the nail on the head.
I mean,
everybody want to be alike
now.
Yeah, a lot of followers, right?
Of followers.
There's no leaders. There's no captains of their ship. Everybody want to be just accept me. I nothing unique about me. I just want to blend in and slide through life. That's what's going on.
Or take my lead from the internet. You know what I mean? I want to follow this person. I want to be just like them.
I think I said it a couple shows ago. Like a lot, well, all of us in this group, this immediate group right here, is a bunch of alphas, and so and alphas that can also follow alphas that's doing the right thing. Not necessarily follow. They're not going to follow somebody who's not doing the right thing. So even though I'm an alpha and I'm a leader and I'm going to do what I want to do, but if Chris is doing something that I feel is 100% right, okay, I'll join in on that.
We support
each other. But if Chris is doing something I don't agree with, then I say, okay, no. I'm not
it's pretty much following with common sense.
Right. We support each other positively, and if something came up negative, okay, you're on your own on that one.
Yeah.
And that's what we did in the schoolyard. We talk about all the time how you knew what you could do and what you couldn't do because we were leaders, but everybody had their own identity. And if somebody did something stupid, yo, what you doing? What you doing? Hold on. And that's all it took for us to get back on track. But nobody takes that lead no more. Not us.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about in general.
Well, this goes back to it's interesting because, what we talk about kind of proves itself out because we were talking about individuals who got on drugs and stuff like that. I think it's no coincidence that happened after we were hanging out as a collective. Because I think,
I tell you what,
all events now we were alphas. We were alphas, but we also had influence.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean? Go ahead, Vincent. Yeah.
But I mean, coming up, that's just like with crack cocaine.
Wow.
I heard one person say, well, you take that one time, you get hooked.
Yeah. I just said that today.
What I need to try it for?
I just did that today.
Exactly.
How many times you gotta tell me before common sense kick in? Or you gonna say, oh, it ain't gonna happen to me. Next thing you know, you trying to give somebody blowjobs for $5.
You chasing it, right?
Yeah.
But I think, I think another factor is I do think, and I know people are going to misinterpret what I'm about to say, but I think the lack of that alpha male, the lack of that influence has translated in, and Kev talks about it all the time. So we got a bunch of young men growing up with no identity whatsoever, no clue, and not even trying to figure out who they are. They just kind of go along and get along.
Also, like Kev said, we got a lot of males being raised by females.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I mean.
No real male influence in their life.
Like Cam Newton and oh man, what's the guy who's married? Nick Cannon. This lady they were doing an interview with this lady, and she was talking about the negative impact they were having as dads. And in their mind, they weren't, because even though they had all these kids, they weren't spending time with, they were buying houses, they were sending their kids to private school. There's a bunch of them got enough kids, they have like 2 football teams. They got a bunch of kids.
Yeah.
So how do we transition to that from families that we knew? We knew families that were connected.
Right.
We talk about all the time, like even when, like, if somebody had a family member die, we got more connected.
Right.
It was about the adults, the Charleses, the Ralphs, the Mr. Boones, who spent time with us. So you talk about your coach from the Striders, man, who invest in us. How do we get away from that? Because I think that led to us being able to maintain our identity.
Yeah.
Ron, that's the Strider coach, Vince, Vince Randall.
Yeah.
Ron did it best. He said, I went by the barbershop, this was several years ago, and he said, Mike, I got a college degree. I went to college, but I didn't leave the neighborhood. He said, it was 87 guys on the Striders, 84 went to college on track scholarships.
Oh, that's cool.
He said, and all y'all went to school. I keep up, I hear what y'all doing. I know where you live. I know this, I know that. But none of y'all really came back to the neighborhood. And we didn't.
No, we didn't. He's
but
right.
We didn't because I told Ron, I said, the difference, Ron, when you came out of college, the neighborhood was striving. We had civil rights. We had this. We had that. We came back to the neighborhood. It was rampant.
Crackheads.
It was crack, right?
Yeah.
And that makes a huge difference.
Yeah. If you start a family, you wanted to get out of there.
Right.
And it was also that next generation that came up didn't have the same respect for us that we have for our way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But you just see, I see it more and more. Even in sports, you see it more and more in sports where you hear less of guys helping each other out. Like Doc took Charles Barkley under his wing, and Moses took him under his wing. He talks about that all the time. You don't hear those stories anymore. It's almost like we've kind of gotten away from it takes a whole village to raise a child to, is what's best for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Y'all had no this. It's really coming down and
I
thunder
just seen
lightning.
it in the
It's coming this way
background.
too, man. I'm watching the trees in my yard, man.
Yeah.
Well, y'all getting it too?
I'm in the basement. So I
Okay.
don't see nothing.
That's where I need to go.
I know I'm hearing it, seeing it right here. So
Well, we've been waiting on it all day, so
Yeah.
it's here,
Yeah. But they don't even talk about identity anymore. You just don't. It's almost like kids are born and they're put into this bubble and they just mass produce. They think alike, they dress alike. Even in school, they all on the same level in the same class, even though we know they're not on the same level. Everything is like uniform now.
Yeah.
It's almost, and I want to hear your opinion. It's almost like it's on purpose that they're mass producing these clones.
That's it. I think it is. Y'all always use the term institutionalized.
Yeah, good term.
It definitely is. Definitely.
Yeah. I think it's, because of society and the internet and what people see, it's like we're putting out more followers than leaders.
Yeah.
Yes. And it's always more followers than leaders, but it's no leaders. That's the issue right now. The leaders are afraid to lead.
I wouldn't go that far to say none, but
No, but they're afraid to lead.
Far and in between.
Right. Well, y'all heard me say my dad told us that cool and fool have a lot more in common than rhyming words. Yeah. You got people that's highly intelligent and they rather fail a class so they can hang out with Joe Blow versus
one thing that I've learned growing up is I know some people that's very, very, very intelligent, but don't have common sense.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean,
smart as a whip, but ain't got common sense.
I think Mike is onto something there. I do think that there's a lot of followers. I think followers today are different though, because we knew people who were followers, but they wouldn't jump off a cliff.
Exactly.
They knew where that line was. They were followers, but they knew where that line was. Now it seems like there's no line. And I look at politics, a perfect example. And to me, most people get into politics now to get rich. That's the thing.
That's a fact.
Pretty much.
Even though they start out with these great, I'm going to be straight. I'm not going to take this. I'm not going to take that. It's like
they there to get rich.
They assimilate. But how do you publicly announce your values? How do you publicly say your character, your integrity, and then sell it away?
Well, just the thing. They don't even have to say what their character is. They can say anything and expect you to believe it. And a lot of people do.
Right. Some of them start out right. I think some of them honestly start out trying to do the right thing.
Look, they done lied to a bunch of them people's face. You know what I mean?
Some of them lived the life, and I'm not all of it. I agree. I do agree. I think it's a bunch of them, but there's politicians who, when they weren't in the big thing, they were doing well. They were serving the people. They were doing stuff. It was when they got a taste of that money.
Yeah. I mean, the best of them don't stick to the script.
They went from a councilman, freeholder, to a senator, to a congressperson, and then they start doing the lobbying. And the lobbyists come and say, I'll give you 100,000 to bet on this. And the next day somebody comes in and say, I give you 200,000 to vote for this. And they vote for both, but they just make $300,000. And all of a sudden, wow, I got 300,000 legally in America.
Yeah,
And
and I
here's
mean they
another,
don't
and
worry
it's
about the
another
illegal.
million
effect.
waiting.
It's
They
illegal,
don't
but they
worry
got.
about the effect it's going to have on the American people.
Not at all. Not at
So
all.
do you think the loss of identity also we've lost like character and integrity as things that used to be essential to leadership?
I mean, integrity right now, that's like a bad word
And the
because
whole country,
a lot of people don't have it.
and the whole country, when we were in school, and we were fortunate, we were always in the top part of our classes, and we were in the top five, if not 5 people in our classes. Then the school board decided we're going to take one intelligent, one mediocre, and one slower. Every three people they did like that, and then they came up with No Child Left Behind. So you got kids that don't know 4 times 4 is 16,
Yeah,
and they're seniors in high school.
yeah. Well, I mean, they. It's kind of like being taught not to really compete,
Exactly.
just to show up.
Just to show up. Just that
And you know,
participation
and
trophy.
yep,
That's
that's
I
what
what
I
knew
you
it
was
was
get.
getting
coming.
at. The participation
I
trophy.
knew it was gonna make its way into the conversation.
Look, it was getting ready to come out. Mike beat me to it. I mean, think about it. I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna go to practice and I'm gonna play maybe once in the season, but I'm still gonna get a trophy.
Right.
I don't know.
Joel Embiid.
What does that teach you?
Oh, I'm not.
Just show up.
I am not a participation
Just
trophy
show
player. So
up. Just show
I ain't
up,
either.
and that's
I,
good enough.
I agree with you. I think it
Yeah,
has kind of taken away from the work ethic. I think it's kind of messed up the integrity of the game. I also think that it took away identities because people who worked hard were recognized for working hard.
yeah,
And people who
They
didn't
they
work
took
hard,
away,
yeah,
right, and they took education away, and they took discipline away.
well,
When we were in class,
yeah.
or not just necessarily in class, the neighborhood, we be standing outside talking. Oh, here come Miss Scott, here come Miss Pender, here come Miss Franklin, here come Miss Puckett, whoever it was. We knew to dummy down, and all we did was say, "Good afternoon, good evening, how you doing?" Now
yeah,
they curse you out, or they keep doing whatever they were doing as if you don't even exist. And if you say something, the teachers can't discipline. And I'm not talking about beating the kids. They can't tell the kids to sit down, get in line, and be quiet without their
yeah.
parents coming up to the school ready to curse them out. And I'm
I
not
But I
saying
mean,
think
my
everybody.
No,
I think that's what happens when you don't have an identity because you don't have an identity, man. You subject to you subject to anything.
Exactly.
I mean, when you don't have an identity, what are you fighting for? What are you where you going? What are you trying to accomplish? What
You
makes you
just
different?
existing. You're
Yeah,
just existing.
just
well,
existing.
I think
You're participating.
like No Child Left Behind. No Child Left Behind was a great idea, but it
Yeah,
just went the wrong way. It's like Chris said, it took away the competitiveness or the
yep,
fight. I don't have to fight for nothing. I'm not going to be left behind.
see,
yeah,
I think we got
I come
duped.
in and do nothing. I'm going to get the same thing as that guy that's over there working his butt off.
yep.
But I think as black
Absolutely,
people, we got duped.
absolutely.
We got duped by the phrase "no child left behind"
Yeah,
Yes.
because in
Yeah,
our minds it meant they were going to help our kids be better.
absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. That's what
We,
I thought.
we weren't thinking in terms of, nah, we gonna pass your
It's
kids,
going.
even if with a bag of rocks. We weren't thinking like,
Yeah,
It's
no,
going
right.
to create a
Right.
society of
Well,
followers.
I
We was
guess I
thinking
was
that
different.
the
As
kids that
soon as
needed help would get more help so that
there
they're
you go.
not
Yeah,
left behind.
Yeah.
a sense
Yo,
of fact.
we got hoodwinked.
Yeah,
No,
yeah, we
as
did.
soon as they started that No Child Left Behind, it coincided right with we're gonna take the smartest kid in the class and the slowest kid in the class, and we're gonna put them in the same class,
Yeah.
and then we're gonna take a mediocre kid and put him in there, and we're gonna do every third. We're gonna start on both ends, and we're gonna come like this. Instead, when we were in school, we had 3 different classes. I'm not saying that was right at all. That wasn't right. But you don't take the smartest kid and put him in the room with the slowest kid and
Well, let's
expect for both of them to achieve.
I want to back up a second. So why? And I'm just curious. I'm not being pro or con, why do you say it wasn't right?
Why I say it wasn't right? Because that all of a sudden that motivated, if he or she wasn't completely motivated to self-teach his or herself, she or he sitting in the classroom waiting on the rest of the kids to catch up.
No, I meant the first part when you said the 3 separate classes. When you said there were 2 separate classes.
Yeah.
I'm saying why you think when you said that when they had 3 different classes instead of putting them all in one class,
Well,
you said
you think about when
when
we were going through high school, we had motivation.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
for the smarter kids and.
Yeah, but I don't get back what Mike said. Mike said it wasn't right. I'm just curious. He said you said you're not saying this right about the 3 different classes.
It was more feasible. It cost more, but it kept the kids where they motivated each other. When you take it and you put the kids that's the brightest with the slowest, it's, I always told my kids this: it's easy to do wrong. So when you got that kid that's possibly doing wrong, because that slow kid, either he or she's going to be real quiet or they're going to be disruptive. You can deal with the real quiet one, but now you don't know what he or she knows. And when you call him, he thinks you're picking on him if you call him to come up to the class and express what you said. But if he's disruptive, now everybody think he's funny, they laughing, and nobody's learning.
No, I actually agree with you. I wasn't disagreeing. I thought it interesting that you did say that you felt like when it was separated, you didn't say it was wrong. You said, I'm not saying it's wrong. And Tommy and I talk about this all the time about, and I do see the cons in it because we were in IS and people that weren't in IS and motivation just kind of got lost in matching. We didn't even know they existed after we got out of school.
Exactly. And we got teased.
Yeah.
That's the part, Mike, I think what you were saying. Because Chris and I, we do talk about that all the time. Yeah. You were saying that it possibly wasn't right because maybe a kid that could have got better didn't get better because he didn't have a chance, because they basically isolated independent study, motivation, and then the rest of the school as far as we was concerned. Okay.
But if I go back to Stokely,
yes.
But most of the teachers cared, so every kid got a chance. I remember when they bought the BRL. Remember BRL to reading, and we all
yeah. Well, we had BRL, we had phonics. They took all that stuff out of the classrooms.
So remember people on different levels.
Yeah, right.
And I remember teachers giving people the extra help and stuff they needed. So I thought, maybe resources changed.
But I'm guilty of this. Yeah. I know I was guilty. Certain people in the classroom and they can't pronounce a word or they can't read it. And you look at them like, you big dummy. Wrong on my behalf. But if I said that, I can name you 15 people in the class that agreed with me, whether they agreed or not. They just didn't want me to call them a big dummy next.
Hey, Mike, call out the name, Mike. Who was it?
Oh, like David Anderson?
Oh, my God. There's no encouragement.
I can go on and on.
Yo, we gotta get Mike going. We gotta get Mike going.
Mike, you got any more? Nah. Go ahead, Mike.
So you got a list.
I just think when it comes, Stokely, to me, I kind of get the other side of it. And I think if the system's done properly, it almost has to be like that, because I see it now, to Mike's point, when I'm in the class and you have kids who get it and they're trying to get it, and you get a kid who doesn't get it and he always manages to drag other people into it. So you can't teach a class when you got 3 kids. You spend half the 45 minutes
on 3 total different levels.
Yeah.
On 3 total. Everybody got a different level. Everybody. But when you got some kids that their level is so far behind, and you got them together, it's not going to work.
School is the only place.
Academically was. I'm sorry.
School is the only place that does that, because on job they have different levels.
Right. That's why I said I never liked that no kid left behind, because in school they do that, but then when they turn 18, they're not going to college.
Yeah.
They not, and all of a sudden they got mediocre jobs. They're not going to make a certain amount of money, and we talk about this a lot. Choices. Choices that you make young in life will affect the rest of your life. But if nobody's telling you that one child that made bad choices after bad choice after bad choice, and all of a sudden they blame everybody except they don't look in the mirror and blame themselves.
But let's look at parents for a second, because I think we can't have this conversation without holding parents to a certain level of accountability.
Oh, 100%, I agree.
Like I'm working with a group in Norristown. Great, best group of kids I've probably ever worked with. But the thing that kind of drives me crazy is none of them dream about what they want to be. You know, none of them dream about what the future could look like.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and they great kids. None of them think about the possibilities that's in front of them. And I'm thinking to myself, like, you know, I remember, look, I remember your mom, man, giving me the 5th degree. What do you mean you don't know what you want to do? But yo, I'm 12. You know? No, remember we said the career days. No, I'm just saying. I remember, even as an adult, when I would come with as an adult, we would talk about work. She would be sitting right there. She would chime in. You know, it's different now. I remember one time I was out. I left your house. I don't think I ever told you this, and I was supposed to go home. Mom said it's time for you to go home. We leave there. It's like 1 o'clock, and I'm standing outside talking to this girl, man. Like 2 o'clock. Here's what I say. Is that you?
She sent you home an hour ago.
What? Yeah. You still out there? You know you should have been home, but you better get out of here. I'm like, I felt like this, Mom. You have to get your best line on it. So I'm like, come on. It ain't your mom either. That's what made it so bad.
Like, take your butt home.
No, but I'm saying, that was the lessons that we got though.
And listen to what you said though. You felt small. Now they would curse my mom out. They would curse my mom out, right?
It was too many y'all.
But you know what?
But I'm saying not necessarily my mom, but they would curse out that adult that tried to take that role of saying, "Hey, I'm not your biological mom, but I'm your mom while you around here." I've been down. Me and Paul used to hang out. I go down there. We be playing the guitar. Neither one of us could play at all. We pop more strings than anybody. We spent more time down at what's that music store used to be downtown on 12th and Market and buying guitar strings because neither one of us knew how to play. But Miss Scott would come downstairs. She would go, "All right, Mike." She didn't have to say it's time to go home. Just, "Okay, Mike." I knew exactly what that meant. And I went home.
Yeah.
But
it was never I'm hanging with Paul. No. "Okay, Mike" means it's time for company to leave tonight. Right.
But it also helped us in our identity because part of our identity was that we knew how to respect our elders.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
but you know what? Go ahead, Chris. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I mean, and Tommy, you probably can speak on this because you worked for the government. When I first got in the government, their appraisal system was you had outstanding, you had superior, you had you had like, and each one of them came with a different award amount. And then all of a sudden they went to pass and fail.
Excuse me.
Yeah, I'm like,
it's like school now.
wait, pass or fail. You know, I won't mention any names, but
you will.
Give me initials, I'll say it.
one of my supervisors that worked under me, because I had to read over all their appraisals for their employees, and she might as well took a Xerox machine and just changed the name. And I every year I had to tell her, nope, you gotta rewrite this.
Right.
You being lazy and this is stupid. You gotta rewrite this.
But you know,
and then in reality, that's really all they deserve is to have Xerox because it would pass or fail.
Mm-hmm.
But because I like to think because we had a sense of our identity, we knew we couldn't settle for mediocrity.
Exactly.
Because we knew that wasn't a part of our DNA.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we knew, like, if all of us were on the same team, it's. I tell you, a perfect example. When I first started coming around the school year, Tommy and I talk about this all the time. Mike was in center, Roger was in left, and Irv was in right field. And I just remember taking her spot. No, I'm being honest. I just remember, and I just remember him like just giving up.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And I'm like, like, where's the fight?
I was just going to say, Irv, as big as strong as he was too laid back in a good way, but in a bad way. Because if you came up and said, I'm playing right field today, it was okay. Where if somebody would have came and said, I'm playing center, well, for who? You're not playing center out here today.
But and I've seen people like that, when and somebody going to say the name, don't say the name. There was another guy who I thought never reached his full potential because of the same reason, because I don't think he ever really discovered who he was at a young age. He lived across the street from the schoolyard. He was probably one of the best baseball players,
Ronnie!
He did, it was like, and I think, and it'll look back on people who cannot quite figure out who they are. How do you reach your full potential? How do you know,
You have to believe in yourself first. You have to believe in yourself.
Yeah.
You knew when you came out there, I'm going to play the outfield no matter what. I don't care who out there. I'm playing on the outfield. You had that mentality. Vince knew, okay, I'm going to outrun everybody in here. And if I don't outrun you, I'm going to give you a run for your money. I don't care if you're 2 years older than me or 2 years younger than me, but you better bring your A game. If you, Tommy, we talk about
no age restrictions.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Vincent was special. Basketball, football, and even baseball. Vincent was he was just special.
He's the top athlete. He was the top athlete.
Yeah.
And Tommy, you
he
could
was
hit
quiet about it, but
we all had our specialties, and like you said, we were all alpha men or alpha boys, but we also knew how to blend in together.
Because
well, back then, I'm saying.
But I think
I like that. Alpha boys.
But we had that leadership quality and we had that belief. Vincent, when you first came in that schoolyard, nobody had to tell you you was fast. You came in there with that attitude.
Yeah.
Okay. Nobody had to tell me I was fast. I came in there with that attitude.
Yeah.
Chris, nobody had to tell you, you couldn't go back on the ball as far as I could go, but you could get a jump on the ball and go back. I just had faster speed. But you still had that attitude. I'm going to catch that ball. It might, Mike might get a standing still.
I'm talking about a competitor. He was just
right.
And the crazy thing is, like, I look at my godson. He lives in Collegeville.
Mm-hmm.
And the programs they have in their school, like future leaders and stuff like that, they don't have in the inner city schools.
They don't have it in
anymore.
the inner city no more. They took a whole lot of.
And I mean, they went to the future leaders. They go to Virginia and stuff like that, and they speak and they teach them how to do this. And it's just like,
remember
wow.
at Stokely, we had the science fair, the 4-H club, the math club. We had all that kind of. We even had a band at elementary school.
Yeah.
They don't have none of that kind of stuff no more throughout most of the school district.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
The recreation centers are closed.
They
just keep taking away programs.
But even on top of that, I think for me, the biggest lessons learned was, even though we had all those things in common, there were individual things in each of our families.
Right.
That we did that wasn't based on what somebody else was or was not doing.
Mm-hmm.
We used to go to playoffs in the park every summer, man, 3 times a summer. And I hated it because we were dressed like the Mormons, man. We put the white shirt on, the black pants, man. I saw Porgy and Bess. I saw Shakespeare. I saw all these things out there. At the time, I thought it was torture.
Yeah.
When I got to high school and college, and everybody was hearing this for the first time, I was like, "Wow, I got this."
And you felt cultured. You felt cultured.
I'm like, I got this when I was in elementary school.
I learned this in elementary school. Exactly.
And people thought I was being smart, but I wasn't being smart. It was like, yo. So I say that because I think that all those things help us.
I think the 4 of us, and I'm gonna say the 5 of us, when Puck's normally on here, we all get offended when somebody tell us or they talk about North Philadelphia. And because we know the good of North Philadelphia. They only see the
Well,
stereotype that the media put on.
most people that talk about North Philly don't know enough about North Philly to really talk. They look at something they seen. They might seen a bad
Stereotype.
story.
They self
Yeah,
stereotype.
because like I got friends that's in Atlanta and stuff like that in Florida that call me and be like, "Yo, man, I just called to check. Like, you to make sure you all right." I'm like, "Why wouldn't I be?"
Mm-hmm.
Because they see like something about
You
Kensington,
really love.
and
Right.
they think the whole city is like that. Do you
Well,
know how
people do
big?
that because I
Do
know
you
when
know
I
how
went to
big
Morgan.
this city is? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Come on now, get real.
When I went to Morgan and the 3 Mile Island when they had the radiation thing out there,
Yeah.
and
Do you
people
know
was
how far we
right.
live from
I,
3 Mile Island?
exactly. I'm like, Baltimore closer to that than Philly is.
Yeah. But you know what? I remember hearing Dawn Staley, and she was getting somebody up off of her, but I never felt so proud, and I use that line now, to people that try to down me. I say, yeah, I'm from the area code 215. The
Mm-hmm.
zip
Hmm.
code is 19121. That's
Yep.
where I'm from. If you don't know what that is, you better ask somebody.
Oh,
Right.
Geno Smith. She told Geno Smith that.
She told
That's
Geno Smith, right? Yeah.
she
Folks in
told her.
Connecticut.
She said, if you
I
don't
don't
know
know
what
what you
that
think you know. I don't know what you think you know, but
Yeah.
she said, but I'm from the area code is 215. The
205.
zip code is
Zip code
191.
19121.
I
That
use that a
So
lot now.
Gino
I know.
about to catch one.
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
Well, I use it also, when somebody's giving me a compliment on saying, how well behaved or how, educated or my approach on
Yeah.
things. Man, you come from, I said, I come from the area code 215, zip code
see,
19121.
that's another thing that's different too. As we
Right,
transition, there's a lot of us who
right,
are ashamed where we come from, who don't
Yeah.
talk about
right.
what the thing of family we do, who don't talk about like I say this all the time. The character resilience I learned right there in that schoolyard.
Absolutely.
Yes.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
tenacity, competitiveness.
Yeah.
I
And
learned that right there. Yeah.
the difference is we're proud of where we came from
We're
too.
That's what I
very
mean.
proud.
That's
Yes.
what I'm
And,
saying.
and we know it made us the men that we are. It
Yeah.
helped.
Yes.
It molded
Absolutely.
us. It molded us, and we took it and we ran with it. But we had that. We didn't know it at 7, 8, 10 years old, but we were being molded in that schoolyard from the beginning.
Yep.
Yeah.
From the beginning, and we knew certain people just by their attitude. Oh boy, he's not gonna make it. And I don't mean gonna die or nothing, but
Yeah.
he's not gonna be he's not gonna. None of us got our full potential. Nobody ever has, but we got a lot of it.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, especially nowadays, it's not pushed on people no more. Tommy, I know we used to play baseball in the kitchen at dinner, and baseball at the kitchen table. People say, "How you play baseball at the kitchen table?" We start off with a word like truck. You had to spell it, define it, put it in a sentence. And then if I did that, Vince, you next, you got to do a word now. Truck's a 5-letter word. You got to make a 6-letter word starting with a K. So whatever that word ended in, and if you couldn't, we get a run. If you can, you on base. And we
Okay.
did that around the table. So we called it baseball in the kitchen. And we did that, and my life just blinked.
Yeah, we seen that.
Yeah.
It blinked again.
Yeah.
You gonna lose power.
I don't know. It's real windy. It sounds like a train going through my
You
yard.
got your generator hooked up?
Nah, not hooked up.
Oh wow.
But we did that. We played number games. You had to say like 6 times 6. You had to say 36 like that. You couldn't say 6 times 6 or 6. You couldn't. If you said you out. So if I said 8 times 8, you had to say 64 like that. 6 times 8,
Yeah.
48 like that. You had to say it like that or you were out. And it was a learning mechanism, but we turned it into fun. People think education now is a job, it's punishment. because a job can be fun. So I'm not going to say a job punishment. They think education is punishment.
This lady got in trouble for saying this. She was a professor, and she said the class of 1950 is smarter than the class of 2026, and people got in an uproar. And she explained to them why.
I would agree.
Because she said, first of all, the class of 1950, their parents couldn't read, so they made sure their kids knew how to read.
And they had to do research. There wasn't no internet.
I mean, just the resources that they had compared to
They make sure their kids knew how to write, how to read, how to dress, all the simple things that kids don't get anymore. But that used to be a part of our identity. It's not anymore. We used to be.
I mean,
if you look at Rosewood and the different communities, we had an identity with being successful in all right.
Do y'all remember? All of us were safeties. Remember, we had to wear shoes. You couldn't wear sneakers on post.
Yeah.
Do y'all remember that? Mr. Tillman made us wear sneakers, and Miss Green, when she was in charge, we had to wear shoes every day instead of sneakers. Yeah. But we took pride in that. Remember, we marched every day.
I take pride. I hear it.
Well, I took pride in it. We would come down from Montgomery Avenue, marching, picking at Morris, at Wilkes, Euclid, at Burke Street, Natrona, and we marched. We came together as a unit, and everybody. But you took pride in that.
Yeah.
The prideful part.
I didn't like the shoes.
But you took pride in being a safety.
Yeah, I did. That was cool because you marched, and then we remember play day.
Yes.
The thing beginning to play day. Yeah.
Right. But remember we opened up marching. We opened it because what was the guy named Grandy? James Grandy? Went the wrong way.
I think just dropping names, man. Let me tell you.
Every time I see him, I bring that up. Wrong way, James.
Well, you know, he's a Jehovah's Witness. I used to run into him once in a while. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I remember when he knocked on my door one time. Oh, okay. When I was still living down North Philly. Okay. But anyway. Yeah, but it's just to me, it's amazing how things just change. It's almost like we reverted to being, it's like a movie. You watch the movie, man, and you see at the beginning of the movie, everybody's like superheroes. And by the end of the movie, everybody's like super flunkies. It's like, what happened? Mm-hmm. And maybe you're right, Mike. Maybe we're still looking for another leader. Maybe that's it. Maybe we're looking for someone else to lead them. But how do we curb that? That's the question. How do you begin to shift that, man, to go back the other way?
We got to take the fear out. We got to take the fear out of the neighborhoods, and that's hard because we talk about our dads. We talk about our coaches. We talk about our moms who took control of the neighborhoods. And now it's so many guns and so many people willing to shoot for just the minor things. People are afraid to take that leadership role and say, young man, that's wrong.
But there's somebody's kids who perpetuating all this violence. They belong to somebody.
Yeah. Well, just working in Graterford. And like I say, the average young boy that was up there didn't think they were going to live to see 25. And that's sad.
That's real
very sad.
But I'm going to tell you what's sadder now. They believe they're going to live to be 25, but they don't have no plans, Vince.
Yeah.
They have you talk to them, man. Because I do this thing where I have them write their own obituary. So they'll say they're going to live, but then when you start what you going to do, I'm going to get rich. How you going to get rich? I don't know.
I would have failed that class. Write your own obituary. You out your mind. I ain't writing my.
Yeah. I heard a 9-year-old tell his mom that he wanted to be an influencer.
Oh yeah.
On the internet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, that's what they do.
Like,
look at the 14-year-old boy who won Madden last year. He won like $10 million.
Yeah.
And they said, hey, you want to say something to somebody? He said, yeah, I want to say this to my dad. He said, Dad, you said I'm never gonna make any money playing this game. I just made more than you. I'm making a lifetime.
His dad did this. Okay.
Well, I mean, look, the thing is, if your child is good, something you there to support them.
It's right there in front of him. Like, I would have been like, no, but I just think, and it's funny because identity is something that people don't talk about anymore, though. You don't hear people say, find your voice, find your identity. And it's funny you should say that, Mike, because I think some of the toughest coaches I had was the coaches I played the best for.
Right.
Those guys who screamed, and I know I shouldn't be saying that, but those guys who got in your grill, man, who got in your face and held you accountable, yeah.
I was just going to say that. You knew you were held accountable. Yeah. You had that, you know, you hear the Eagles talk about with Coach Vic. They say he coaches hard.
Yeah.
You want your coach, because now you know, not only do I care, but my coach care. When you get a coach, like, you know, when the Phillies had, what was the worst coach in the history of sports? Brett Brown. You know, he didn't know nothing.
We don't get sued.
Well, no, I'll get sued. Brett Brown, the worst coach in the history of sports.
All right, Mike, we got to do first time, Mike.
And I'm counting Little League, T-ball. He's the worst coach ever.
Damn,
but he would watch the Eagles, the Sixers blow a 22-point lead, and he go, I want to let them play. Well, why we got you as a coach? Call timeout. Do something.
He was with a strategic plan, trying to get us back into it.
He had no plan. His plan was, I used to tell Tommy, I would call Tommy, he would go, 21, turn around, because he didn't know who Embiid was and look at him in the face. He had to see his name on the back of his jersey. He saw the 21 in front. That's how dumb I thought he was. I think he is. And I know I'm not supposed to be calling out names like that. But
what's your thoughts on this upcoming season? Now that we fully loaded.
But I want to say one thing before we get I do want to talk about that. But it's funny because I remember playing for Lenny, and Tom, you remember this. I hadn't had an error in like a year and a half. And this dude hits the ball down the line. I'm playing left field, and it's tailing away from me. I dive, I stretch out, and it hits into my glove. He gave me an error. I was like, but this was his answer. I was like, how could you give me an error on that play? He said, because I expected you to catch it. I was like, how do you
right.
I'm like, yo, I'm laying down trying to get this ball. I was like, yo, 6'7", I would have got it. But it was like,
I remember when I was playing when he was coaching, I'm running full speed, catch a ball, my arm fully extended, and I catch it on an ice cream cone. And he goes, when I come back, everybody, good catch, man, good catch. You should have caught that standing still. I'm the fastest guy in the league. And I catch the ball on a full stride with my arm fully extended, and he says, you should have caught that standing still.
He's like, you had a 30-foot vertical.
Those were the expectations that helped shape them. So now we can get to Vincent. Vincent wants to talk about LeBron and Philly. That's all everybody's talking
about. I mean, I just asked your thoughts.
I like it because he's going to make Embiid play. He's going to get in Embiid face. Because Joel could be the best player in the league. He could be the worst player in the league.
He's healthy right now, though. They said this is the first time in 5 years that he's going to be, unless he trip over a hot dog wrapper, then he's going to be fine.
Or shoestring and or something, or piece of hair.
If he plays 60% of his potential, we definitely should be contenders to win the championship. If he plays 60% of his potential, because Brown's going to give you 100%. Max is going to give you 100%. And B, if 60%. Edgecombe going to give you 100%. LeBron going to give you what he got 100%. So if Embiid give us 60% of his potential, we'll run away with the division easily, even with the Knicks being the defending champions.
I just look forward to the season now.
I'm looking forward to the Eagles. I want the Super Bowl.
Yeah, me too. But I think
definitely that. But
I think it's three things that can serve. The three things that my 3 question marks for him coming here. The first thing is, Embiid likes to hold the ball for 10, 15 seconds in a shot clock. He's holding the ball like this for no reason at all. I don't know. And he did it last year when he came back. He got a little better for that one series against Boston. He just messes up the flow. They run up and down the floor, and whenever he doesn't feel like run, he holds the ball. I think the second thing that troubles me is, can Nurse handle all these personalities? Because they got personality. Edgecombe, you're not going to tell him, dude, don't shoot the ball. You're not going to tell him you only get 5 shots a game now. You can't tell him that. No, you can't turn around to Maxie now and say, Maxie,
I mean, you got to let him go.
So now
you got to let that young boy go.
Yeah.
Like,
and then I think the other problem I think they may have, and people think I'm crazy when I say this, LeBron James, right now, where he's in his career, is probably the 3rd best player on the team now. If you look at all around, I don't know.
I got him as the 4th. I got him as the 4th best.
Well, see, I was being black.
That's what he said. He don't want to be the first option. He don't want to be second option.
Yeah, but you can say that. But you've been a man for 24 years. You've been a man for 24 years, and now you come here. They ball faking to you.
Yeah, well, I don't think he going to step back his game. But yeah, I mean,
he can create. He can get a rebound.
He blowing a smoke screen right now.
Right, he can, but he can create. He can get he can start a fast break off a rebound. He can come up and get an offensive rebound. Whereas Embiid, it's a set play for him. Remember, Embiid said last year he don't think rebounds is important.
Yeah,
that's a quote of his.
Well, I was hoping he sprained his ankle real bad and he something. No, because this is why I say this is why, because they're going to start playing with him and they're going to adjust his style of play. And if history repeats itself, he's going to miss 20 games again. So then you get into another rhythm and then he comes back. That's what happened last year. And then
this team, I think they're going to run. And they're going to tell Embiid, you can just hang out at half court.
Okay.
Because by the time you turn around, we had to.
They can do that, but it'll be the one game when they feed him the ball, and now they back to saying the number one option, get the ball to Embiid. Because he can be that dominant. Because he can go out there and score 30 points in the first half. And have the golden center.
When he does that, you know he's going for the next 4 weeks.
Oh, I know that. I mean, he played.
I would rather see him get 15, 15, 15 than 15.
He played 58 games in the last 2 years. Over 2 years. 27 one year and 31 the other year. He didn't
even play. He was out there for most of those games.
Oh, right. He wasn't even out there giving you all the,
And it's kind of funny because this ties into, as we get ready close to what we're talking about. He is yet to really establish what's his identity. Who is he? And everybody's saying the same thing. Mike Vince, everybody's saying the same thing. If this happens, he can possibly.
And that should be embarrassing to him that everybody says if Embiid wants to play, if Embiid comes out and play, if Embiid don't slow the team down. If he have any kind of pride, he would say, you know what? Maybe I got to look in the mirror and I got to pick my game up. But I don't think he has that.
It can't be game time decision.
Right, his left baby toenail.
So we don't know the game plan because he's going to decide 2 minutes before the game starts whether he's going to play or not today.
His left baby toenail hurt. Not his foot. His toenail.
We don't need. Look, you don't know you're going to play at 7 o'clock in the morning. You're not playing.
But this is the thing about that bothers me about professional sports. What does it matter? You adjust and you play the game. I mean, I don't understand. People get all caught up in this last minute decision. Hey, I'm like
game time decision.
Yeah, okay, he's not playing. There's more shots for me.
Yeah, but I think the problem becomes when the coach designs the offense through him. We're gonna run through him. Well, he's not playing.
But when it's him and you've been there, that's not possible.
I'm not saying that, right. You look at guys like us, we'd have been like, next man up. All right, he's not playing today. We're going to still kill these guys.
It's 82 games in the season, right? They got 41 home games, right? Out of 82 games, 41 home games, they play about, 20 games back-to-back? So he's not playing in 20 games already.
Well, he said he was playing back-to-back. He said
he didn't last year. But I'm just saying, if he pitched bad, then that's not, like Mike said, that's not missing the games where he got a toenail or he got a headache or he got something wrong. So to your point, he misses, like, out of 82 games, he misses 50% of the games almost a year. How can you do that? Yeah,
he played more than 50%. He missed more than 50%. 27 one year, 31 the next.
So how can you? And again, to him, how can you even? And then you got a guy like Iverson, who played through every injury in the world.
82 games.
Yeah.
I just think
and gave his all.
And I think this goes back to identity. But
I mean, he too big to be getting off the floor every day going crazy.
Everybody
Man,
can
come
knock him
on,
down.
man.
He take a nap after every play. He got to lay down for a second.
We can't flop now because Jalen Brown gonna be on him. He already said it.
Yeah, you better talk to Brian too.
Get up off the floor.
Right, exactly. And I think that's what Embiid will do. Embiid gonna tell him, get your big behind up off the floor. And then he gonna tell the coach, take him out the game. Take him out the game. He's hurting the team.
Whenever the tickets go on sale, man, we'll see if we can get some tickets because they're not on sale yet.
Well, I know preseason games went from 107 to 504.
They're on sale now, but what they said was because they were waiting for LeBron James to decide what team, they didn't make the schedule for the season.
I got an 85-inch television sitting right here.
Front row seat.
No, but you will see this. They will have I think like 30 games on national TV this year.
Yeah, they did say that.
Yeah.
They did say that.
But I'm like Vince. I got a nice theater room I can go in and sit in and rewind the play.
It's nothing like going to a game.
I agree with that 100%. It's nothing like being there. But when
nothing like being there.
504 for a preseason game, how much is it gonna cost for a regular season?
I ain't doing that.
See, that's stupid because first of all, fuck those guys not playing no preseason. Go play in the few. They don't even play. If they play 2-3
exactly. But just the fact when they say from Cleveland, whatever high school you, Akron, Ohio, number 23, LeBron James, and it's gonna.
What is he gonna play? What is he gonna play in preseason? That's the thing I'm asking.
But the regular season, that atmosphere is going to be so fired up. That energy is going to be so strong. I was telling my wife the other day, I said, Carol, I've been to a lot of Sixers, a lot of Phillies, a lot of Eagles games. I can tell before this game starts whether we're going to win or not just by the energy in the stadium.
Well, I can say this. When Durant comes in for the Phils, that's crazy.
Oh, yeah. That energy.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's like major leagues. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. We'll see. Well, we got to at least go to a game. So we need to pick a date for July.
All right, well, I'm in.
You know, so I'm gonna check. Like today, the only preseason games they got left is Boston, here and there.
Yeah.
Let me take you back to the place where we grew. It was more than just a track in the schoolyard vibes where legends were made. Boys turned to men in the games that we played. Under the sun, life's lessons came wrong. Every challenge faced made us stronger for sure. Running through the dirt, with our dreams in the race. Competing for respect, every heart was in place. Those playground rules, they became our creed. From basketball courts to the fields of speed, we hustled and flowed with every pass.